Hi, I'm Zachary, your Boulder eco-broker realtor and neighborhood guide. Today I'm giving you a profile on the Mapleton Hill neighborhood. Now, Mapleton Avenue was originally called Hill Street. It may or may not be for obvious reasons, but I've just come up about 60 or 70 feet in one block from Broadway. So, in the late 1800s, one of the things that happened is the Boulder community decided to plan a couple of neighborhoods. The first two and oldest neighborhoods were Whittier, and then this one, Mapleton Hill. It didn't get that Mapleton Hill name until the Mapleton School was built, but I think for obvious reasons we know that with 200 maple trees planted along the street originally in an otherwise barren and dirt-infested Boulder, it was a pretty special place, and it is today too. I'm in front of a house that's a great example of the homes, especially the original homes up here in Mapleton Hill. 1020 Mapleton Avenue is one of those signature mansions that's been at the forefront of Mapleton Hill's awareness for a long time. Back in a little bit of history, back in 1971, this house sold for about $73,000. According to public records, it's been in the same family for years. Although I remember back when the MLS was in books, I remember looking around town, we were looking to buy a house, and I noticed that this house was for sale for somewhere around $500,000. And at the time, that was the most expensive house in Boulder. Well, we all know by today's standards, that would be dirt cheap for a house like this. In a moment, we're going to go over to one of my favorite streets in Mapleton Hill, and I'm going to show you a home that's really for sale. We're right in front of the Mapleton School. It was originally built in 1888. It survived almost 120 years, but unfortunately recently shut down. I think it was about 4 or 5 years ago. It is well known as a landmark in town, and people all over the area know exactly where it is, right here at 9th and Mapleton Avenue. Maybe not the first place you'd want to live right on a busy corner, but what's good to know about this if you're thinking about moving into the Mapleton Hill neighborhood is, since they closed it, all the kids here go to the Whittier School. And that's a good thing, because the Whittier is the local school that has the IB program. And if you don't live in one of the neighborhoods where you naturally get to go to that school, you can't get in, open enrollment or no open enrollment. I have a couple what I'd call more favorite streets than Mapleton Avenue in the Mapleton Hill neighborhood. And we're on one of them right now. It's called Highland. We're actually right at the corner of 4th and Highland, so we're on the west edge of the neighborhood. Some of these maple trees that you see here, these are likely the original maple trees planted when this subdivision, or rather this neighborhood, was conceived. It'll probably cost you for a home like this right here somewhere in the neighborhood of $2 to $3 million, although there are some smaller homes in the neighborhood. But I think when you visit this neighborhood, you'll find it's well worth it. This is a little pocket park right on the southern edge of the Mapleton Hill neighborhood, and it essentially really is Spruce Street. Originally, Spruce Street came straight down this way and went down a very steep hill and continued on. It was a little dangerous, so they decided to take it out. So in the infinite wisdom of Boulderites, they turned it into a park. Actually, I think it's a great thing, and there are a couple other things I want you to know about the Mapleton Hill neighborhood. From the core center of the neighborhood, you're really close to everything. You're close to downtown by a couple of blocks. Pearl Street's only 1 block over. From the center, you're maybe 2 or 3 blocks to North Boulder Park in the Newlands neighborhood, and to the northeast, Vicks and Ideal Market and that whole thing over there. So, in terms of coveted, old school, beautiful Boulder neighborhoods, I think Mapleton Hill is really at the top of the heap. Give me a call if you want to see more about what's going on in this neighborhood, and check out my other videos to get more information about other Boulder neighborhoods.